You're almost.
1 cent. You know, we're here, we're talking. I hope we can get together and do the right thing this time around. Thank you for your time.
Did that just say recording has ended?
No, not ended.
Oh.
Lisa Miles?
Lisa Miles, 7262 Pratts Falls Road.
Thank you.
I'm here tonight also to comment on what was said at the last meeting. And I want to assure you, Mr. Nardella, I communicate like an adult. I go high when others go low. And I hope that you, as our elected official, would do the same. So I'm here to ask you to use your authority in this town to stop the bullying, the harassment, the threats of violence against the 13 petitioners that filed that lawsuit. That was not a surprise. I think there's a misunderstanding because there's no transparency here about the lawsuit. So I'm going to, as quickly as possible, explain the lawsuit to everyone who's here tonight and listening. This lawsuit is not an attack on Heritage Hill. This lawsuit is not to halt the expansion of Heritage Hill. The Onondaga County Health Department did that months prior to the lawsuit being filed due to the sanitary code violations that had been going on for over 3 years at Heritage Hill. And untreated sewage that is spilling out onto the property that he had not fixed. And I have documents stating just that I want on record so the townspeople can understand that this was not what happened as a result of the petition. The Article 78 is not a nuisance lawsuit against the noise coming from Heritage Hill. What the Article 78 lawsuit is a lengthy and complex complaint against the town planning board, who the petitioners feel did not do their job in reviewing all of the environmental impacts that a meat processing plant will have on the community. A meat processing plant will pollute the water, the soil, the wildlife. None of those impacts were addressed, though the residents who may share a well with Heritage Hill and that property, none of that was addressed when we asked. Residents, another group of residents raised the same concerns over the solar projects. Different group, but also talked about in Article 78 being filed had the solar projects been approved. They were not approved. Without consistency for these environmental issues, a lawsuit was certain. Consistency with the solar projects, consistency with a meat packing plant. And just very quickly, I requested the legal bills involved with the lawsuit, foiled them, they came. These are insulting at best. And I want these to be part of the record as well. I think all of the taxpayers who are being asked to pay this bill should see that there is nothing on here that explains what we're paying for. There are so many redactions. We couldn't.
Lisa, if I could,
Yep.
if you notice, no, that's fine. If you notice, there's rules of decorum, okay? Well, one of the rules of decorum states, or within that document, the best way to address issues you have with the town and the town board is to meet, firstly with me, and I, right down the road, can see the house,
Fantastic.
and I'd be happy to meet with you one-on-one.
That's perfect. I do want this part of the record so that the public can see it because
Thank you.
the harassment and violent threats need to stop. You need to bring civility back to this community. Thank you.
Deb Grenier?
Grenier, 2010 Cemetery Road. I want to talk about the Facebook, taking it down, taking down the whole site, taking down comments. That's illegal. Tonight, there's a proposal to retroactive to when they started taking, when the town started taking down the Facebook comments, to, you know, take down the whole Facebook. And really, the board should have voted, you know, to do that then. You can't take down Facebook comments or the Facebook page without a resolution. So, you know, you just took it down. You know, the board took it down, whoever took it down. Took down comments first. People started asking questions. Last month, after the $70,000 legal bill was presented, the legal bill started January 1st. The attorney for the town is a managing partner of the law firm that is representing Heritage Hill, or in the town planning board, so on the behalf of Heritage Hill. So people started asking questions. I did a FOIA request for all legal bills, and March 14th, the meeting was March 12th, I said I was going to do a FOIA request. To this date, it's been almost a month, I don't have requested all the legal bills for all legal actions from the town of Pompey, both by and against, from January 1st, 2022 to present. I've gotten nothing. It just seems like an absence of transparency here. Now they're taking down Facebook. People are going to have less access to the town business. So that's what I want to say.
Jim Gozer. Jim Gozer, 7262 Pratt's Falls Road. I've been a resident of town of Pompey for 18 years now. I want to address the comments that were made by the duly appointed deputy supervisor at last month's meeting. And these comments were attributed directly to you, Mr. Nardella. So I'm going to take the deputy supervisor at his word that this was your message. What was stated is that if there's ever a grievance, bring it to the town board so we can sit down like adults and have a discussion. This whole thing, referring to the lawsuit, could have been avoided if we had worked together and sat down and discussed like adults. I stood in front of this board on August 8th and September 12th of last year and begged this board to sit down and discuss the noise issues that are affecting our community. The response was a lot of stares, blank stares, like I'm getting now. Eventually, we were told it's too hard. Put adults in a room. We invited members of the town board and the planning board to come to our home so we could discuss this and they could hear for themselves what the noise situation was. You know how many adults took us up on our invitation? 0. Adults in a room? Yeah, there was a sitting member of this board who came to a planning board meeting wearing a t-shirt with a cow on a stripper pole, mocking the concerns of the town residents. Adults in a room? The harassment and intimidation of the surrounding neighbors continues today. Happened all weekend, has happened for months. Law enforcement's been called. This is not hysterical neighbors making things up. This adult remains ready and willing to sit down with this board or any board to talk about what's going on in this town. I will meet with anyone, anytime, any place. But if history is any indication, that's not going to happen. No one really wants to sit down and talk about these things. And because of that, the wants of the one continue to override the rights of the many. And that being the case, we will continue to exercise whatever options we have to make sure that Pompey is a town where all citizens' rights are protected, not just the chosen few. Thank you. That's it.
Okay. Next, online comments. Sorry, online comments.
Sorry, not at the moment.
At the moment, okay. Next, accountant's report. Jim, are you able to provide those? Brief summary there, or,
Hi, yes. You hear me?
whoops,
Hang on. Okay, go.
You good?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, great. Everybody should have a copy of the accountants or the supervisor's report for March, along with a copy of the bank reconciliation for the month of March. First, I'd like to make a motion to approve, or request that the board make a motion to approve the March supervisor's report.
I'll make a motion to approve the March supervisor's report.
Yeah, I'll second it.
any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Second, I'd like to request the board make a motion to approve the supervisor's bank reconciliation for the month of March.
I'll make a motion to approve the bank reconciliation reports from month of March.
I'll second it.
Favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Okay. Outside of that is a fairly quiet month. My class interest rose up to $12,572 for the month of March. Expect that to continue for the next few months. There's no significant expenses that I can foresee on the horizon. We're looking pretty good against budget. There's no modifications that need to be made at this time. We did receive the JCAP grant for $5,221 this past month. I believe expenses for that are forthcoming. And that's all I have. Like I said, it's a fairly quiet month.
Okay. Okay, great. So, next is the clerk's report.
Yeah. I'm looking for board acceptance of the March 12th regular meeting minutes, the draft I put together.
Make a motion to accept the March 12, 24 meeting minutes.
I'll second it. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Everyone had the chance to review my bank reconciliation reports. I'm looking for acceptance of those for both the town clerk and the tax collector.
I'll make a motion to accept the clerk's reports for March.
I'll second
Okay, any more discussion around that? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Prepare the vouchers for the payment of bills, so I'm looking for approval to do that.
I'll make a motion, we pay the bills.
I'll second it.
We still have some that we have not approved yet,
Okay.
so
How many are there?
we'll include those at the end of the meeting, Nikki.
Okay.
Okay,
It's just a couple.
That's-
it's based on the
Yeah, it's part of
analysis and stuff.
the,
Okay.
number 7.
And lastly, just a reminder that the community event, our Earth Day event, is going to be located here Saturday, April 20th from 9 to noon up here at the town hall and down at the highway garage. All of the info is posted on our website.
There are some
Flyers.
flyers over there.
And I also saw some, I don't know who put them out, but somebody put signs out,
The
which are
highway
great.
department
That was awesome.
is doing
It
them.
looks like a great event. I hope the community takes advantage of it.
It was big
So-
last year, it
Huh?
was huge
It was
last
big?
year, yeah.
So can somebody explain all the cool stuff we're doing? Just, I remember last meeting, we talked about a shredder.
Tires.
So we want to bring
Electronics,
paper to
for
shred,
shredding.
Right?
electronics, that's a big thing,
Electronics.
to have recycled,
Yeah.
batteries disposed of, tire recycling, so if you have spare tires around, I think it's either a 5 or 10 limit on those,
Yeah,
I'd say 10.
there's a size too. It's listed on the website though.
20-inch rim,
So
20-inch
20-inch.
max, no rims.
James can't bring tractor trailers.
Correct.
Scrap metal, that's another big one.
All right.
The tree
And-
giveaways, the
Yeah, then
sealing
they
giveaways.
do stuff inside, the conservation stuff that's inside and giving away the saplings and apologize about that.
Oh, cool.
Sorry.
That's awesome. I think it's a great thing.
Correct.
That's really nice.
And that's
That's it.
9 to noon,
9
right?
to noon Saturday,
Not this coming Saturday. but
April
tomorrow.
20th. Yep,
Great,
that's it for me.
all right. What should do,
You don't need a motion for that.
We're just
we
gonna move
don't
on.
need it.
Now we have highway.
All right, I guess VR isn't in, tonight. So the only item he had was the
It's the lumber for the signs. for the
Hamlet signs
signs.
that we've already done.
And VR just messaged me, he forgot to turn in a couple of vouchers, remember we thought that bill
Oh,
was
right.
kind of low? So he did say that he forgot to turn in, a couple of vouchers, so. He didn't say how much.
Yeah, we had an estimate, I think, of somewhere in the neighborhood of $3,000.
Something like 3,800 or something like that.
So I
Yeah, that's
guess,
something we've been, I know when I wasn't on the board, they were talking about it for a while, right?
yeah, we have the signs, now we need the lumber to put it.
Yeah, the signs look great, now we gotta get them in the ground.
Okay. And that's what the lumber's for is.
The posts, yep. So, the suggestion, well, the signs were paid for out of the ARPA fund, so we'd like to, have the posts paid for out of the ARPA fund also. And get those up and installed.
We make a
Yeah.
motion to have it.
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we pay for the post to mount the town signs, the Hamlet signs on the post that'll, I'm assuming, be buried in the ground.
Yeah, they're the 4x4
Okay,
posts that
Yeah.
the signs go on, go in the ground.
perfect.
I'll second it.
He had a hard time getting them.
You really?
Oh, yeah, he's been months trying to get the lumber, so.
Oh.
yeah.
Okay, so we had a second, any further discussion? All in favor?
Right.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Next thing is, this is more ARPA related, it's just the update of these systems. One is the outdoor camera system, so we can actually record safety and any possible criminal theft activity to the buildings here. We were able to use the existing cameras,
Okay.
so that's cost of $904 here. The other item was,
Do we need to make a motion individually, or do you want to do it all individually?
I think it should be individually.
Okay.
Everyone.
I'll make a motion
Those
to.
are three separate things, three separate bill items.
You told me.
sure,
All right, I'll make a motion that we hire, what is it?
the camera system.
The camera system. I'm just trying to find.
Installation unlimited.
Installations Unlimited. There we go. For a total of $904.21. For cameras for front and back courtroom. Nikki's area.
No, this is outside.
This is outside.
These are outside, yeah. They're outside cameras, one down by the
And
highway department.
these seem to be a
You
pretty
did.
good quote, because we just did them at the firehouse and they were more expensive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we got 2 to 3 quotes on all of these 3 items.
Okay,
Pass.
I'll second the
All right.
motion.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
I,
Opposed? Carried. Next one is, let's see, access control. So felt we needed a new system for entry in and out of this building because we've been having changes in administration, people who've had access over probably more than a decade. And I guess the question is who has keys and who might not. So to eliminate that uncertainty, we now have a code, going to put in a code system. So that's $4,817. I think we had a quote as high as 17 something. Yeah, so anyway,
all right. I'll make a motion that we accept the proposal for a access control system for the town to help with safety and security for $4,817.16.
To be paid for on the ARPA fund.
Yeah, to be paid for out of the ARPA funds.
Installations unlimited. I'll second it.
all right, any further discussion?
So this is the existing door, and this is just the whole system that's in place.
Yeah, instead of having a key system,
It's,
we're having a access code. It's different than that, but
yeah, yeah.
it's actually a code system from iPhone.
Yeah, it can be, I'm sure it can be changed.
Is this gonna be monitored by you or by Nikki? Who monitors and gets the codes to the people that need the codes and all that?
Based on what I saw, it looks like Installations Unlimited is doing the programming, so I'm sure they'll teach us how to do it so we can change the code.
So it'll probably between myself and my assistant. Oh, okay. So any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried. Last is, I know we've had a number of people here that attend the board meetings, whether it's the zoning or the planning or the town board meeting, requesting that we have speaker system here. And so you can actually hear us in the back rows. And so we got a quote from Installations Unlimited for $4,008.89. It's the best by far out of the three quotes. $808, I'm sorry.
Yep.
$808.89.
So, I mean, this has been an ongoing issue. I know I came to board meetings before I was even on the planning board or the town board. I couldn't hear what was going on. And my ears aren't great, but they're not that bad. So this seems like a wise investment, I think, for everybody. So I'll make a motion that we upgrade the sound for this conference room using Installations Unlimited for $4,808.89. Be paid for out of the ARPA fund.
Wasn't there an issue that putting microphones in here interfered with?
That was something that Renee had talked about quite a lot, and it looks like they're gonna have microphones, and if I had to guess, because I didn't speak to this vendor.
Yeah, we've made sure that's not the case with these.
There can't be a conflict.
I know everybody's wanted them, that'd be great, because as long as everything,
Diana, I was here when he came and he said that would be individual, two people would share a microphone and that there wouldn't be any issues at all with the sound.
okay.
So,
I make second motion.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried. Okay, next we move to supervisor's report, beginning with the resolution for the home-based business.
Yeah, just,
Comment on that?
yeah, public hearing was held on that. Just as a refresher, several months ago, at the end of 2023. The public hearing was closed on January 9th, 2024. We were waiting on the Onondaga County Planning Board to weigh in. They have determined that the proposed change to this law will have no significant adverse community or countywide implications. Over the course of the past several months, has everybody reviewed the proposed changes to the existing law? Okay. The changes to the existing law that you're voting on tonight had some small changes from what was reviewed at the open, or at the public meeting, but they're insignificant to the extent that there doesn't need to be another public hearing. So you are all free to vote on that tonight as to whether you want to vote yay or nay to changing the home-based business law.
Okay, and if I may, this is being put forth because our code enforcer does not have the authority given our current home-based business law in the town, such that if there are people impacting neighbors, home-based business neighbors, there's nothing, basically, it's leaving us liable, and he has no legal authority to pursue any action against them. It's tough to get this right. This is not something that, we don't have the resources to go out and actively enforce. This is merely for neighbors that are being adversely affected. It's not for people that have a gripe against somebody across town that they now run a business but are not adversely affecting the neighbors. This is simply something to put in place to be able to have some teeth. Yeah. Okay.
So essentially, this was put together by a group of people, right, from the community?
Actually, no.
No.
There was an attempt under the prior administration to do that. And again, this is tough because no matter what you do, what about so-and-so, what about that? What was then advised by our prior town attorney was, hey, this has happened in other towns. What we will do for you is put together said resolution that we can then move forward with that will serve the purpose that you need.
Got it.
I seem to recall we had closed the first public hearing, and then we had to wait for the information. There was some changes. There was some talk about reopening a public hearing. Are you saying we're not gonna do that now? He said we don't have to. The changes are so minor, we don't have to, but it's our choice if we want to, correct? Yeah, I want to get this resolution passed. So, but I want to make sure that everybody that wanted to be served too, so.
Well, we did have the public hearing.
There's 5 of us here, so. I don't have a copy of it in front of me to make a motion. I think you have the only copy. Oh. Let's see. I make a motion that we pass the home occupation provision resolution. There's no number on this.
Nikki, do you have
I don't have a copy either.
Okay, yeah, this is the only copy we have on the table. I make a motion that we pass the home occupation resolution that's set forth by the attorney. Look,
2024-1.
Yep.
That means
2024-1.
I think it would be the first resolution.
First
I don't
one for
believe we passed
2024.
anything else.
No, there's been no resolutions in 2024.
So then it's the first.
Written resolutions other than this one.
I'll second it.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Next thing I want to talk about is some possible working with KVAC, which is the Casanova Voluntary Ambulance Service that provides ambulatory service to the Delphi Falls area of our town. And there's a possibility if they received extra funding from Madison County, that they may be able to pass on some of that extra funding to Delphi Falls, more to come there. But the other exciting thing is the same KVAC, starting this summer, is going to offer EMT training to Fabius Pompey students. Summer school, and in all likelihood, if it's popular, they're going forward, which I think is a great form of training, future career, and KVAC people is an excellent organization. We're lucky to have them as part of our community, as far as I'm concerned. The next item is the conference room chairs. And for those that attend in the future, the JCAP grant that James mentioned earlier in the accountant's report is going to pay for new chairs that our Judge Cognetti was able to secure from a grant. So what the current chairs were, according to our records, purchased in 1995 for a whopping $719.60, which, according to our disposition policy, allows us to dispose of them as we feel fit. And across the street, our historical society has a need for them. So a win-win for the historical society, and we'll have hopefully better and more comfortable chairs for future meetings sooner than later. Next thing is a resolution to change the town board meeting for May from Tuesday, May 14th to May 16th.
I'll make a motion, that's what you're asking for, right?
Yes.
I'll make a motion that we, change the May meeting from May 14th to the 16th, Tuesday to Thursday. Do we need to explain? All right, guys.
I just have another
I didn't know if.
commitment, and so, yeah.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried.
And Mark, just Nikki, we talked about it earlier, make sure that we get that out to the media so that it's published. Okay, thank you.
Dave, is there a date it has to go out by?
No, if it's out within next week, you're fine.
Okay, next is, we once again have $5,000 allotted in the town budget for the swim program. Just to get an update, last year, it's $100 fee per participant. It's because of the closing of Casanova College, we had to change who we do the lessons through to town of Tully. Last year, we had 22 families, 39 kids take advantage of the program. So we're gonna do it again this year. And we'll soon have a registration on that we'll be putting on the town website.
So it's, just so I'm clear, it's community, is this a community benefit so that anybody in the town of Pompey can register their children?
Up to 50.
Up to 50 people in the
Right.
program?
Right.
And it's $100 per swimmer?
The
Right.
town is covering that,
Town's covering
so it's, you know, basically up to 50 of them can go.
last year, 39,
Okay,
so. Not
It'd be
every,
nice if FM gets that pool, huh?
yeah, they're not getting a pool. I don't think. I've been wrong before. That, I don't know, for anybody watching or anybody that's in the audience that has kids, our kids did it, it's a wonderful program.
Yeah, this swim program is, I mean, it's, you know, it was much better when it was in Cass College and we ran it and it was amazing, but this is still at least a way it's always been near and dear to my heart. It's at least a way that, you know, if you're in the town, kids can go and take these lessons. Basically, it's free, you know, for the first 50 people that sign up. Tully runs it. All we do is pay for them to go. I would recommend it because if a kid learns how to swim, they will know how to swim for the rest of their life. And you never know if there's an accident, they fall in a creek, fall in a pond. Around here, it just might save their life someday. I strongly recommend it.
okay. Next is a resolution to affirm the town's board's decision to discontinue and take down the Town of Pompey Facebook page retroactive to March 21st, 2024. Is there something you want to mention on that, Dave? or-
I mean,
Personally, go ahead.
I'll just make the comment, I know that there's some speculation out there that through the course of taking down the Facebook page, there was certainly no violation of open meetings law. And as the attorney for the town, I don't have, nor anybody from Harris Beach has any voting power. We are here as attorneys to advise, which is what we did.
And to me, it's just a liability issue. I reached out individually to you all about it and had enough support to make that decision.
I don't know, I still think there's gotta be a way. You know, initially I asked if we could have the Facebook page and nobody could comment on it, and I was told no. And somebody else is telling me yes. I just know, and I know that all the information that we have is on our town website, but the difference is if you use the town website, you actually have to search the town website to find information versus the thousand people that it pops up to them. So when we have birthday or Christmas tree lighting or something, it's how is the best way to get that information out to people now? I mean, it's great, we have it on our website, but that means everybody in town has
I
to.
agree. It's a shame.
Ron, how many followers do we have? Do you know that?
It's around 1,500.
So there's, I mean, I also, I very much like Facebook personally. I think it's, you know, it's a great way to be transparent and have information out there. I've been approached by a lot of people, even though no one really commented and showed up. So maybe it's not that important to them after all, but one person, I'm sorry. I myself would, you know, when I'm wondering and in discussion is, you know, is there a way to put a policy, on it? You know, I mean, the reason it's been down, you know, there appears to be a liability situation with it, which I can understand, but I'm trying to, I'd like to see it temporarily down while we discuss more of a, possible policy or a way to have it back, but have it well monitored, or, you know, I mean, better so it couldn't be used wrong. That's just my personal opinion on the board. I would like to still see it available, but, I would support it being down while we came up with a thing. And I, again, you know, I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not very good at knowing exactly what's legal or not, but I personally would like to see it still be there, but I also don't wanna see the town liable for more stuff. That's my personal comment on it.
I've heard people talk about transparency. I'm curious where the transparency concern is coming from with respect to the Facebook situation. Have you heard anything?
No, not for that, no. My only reason that I wish we could keep it out is so we could promote events and
I
promote
agree.
the town. I don't like
It's a
if
great way
it's
to
a,
promote it. It's too bad.
I don't like if it's
It's a
a
great way to
trash
promote this.
session or anything like that. But I do think that it has a place. But I think, like James said, I think there needs to be a policy if we're gonna continue to have it. And maybe we need to keep it down for a month or so while we continue discussing it. I would hate to see it disappear forever. I know you guys have. your
Well,
own
once you
opinions.
create a policy, then it has to be enforced.
Right, and
And
that's
then if
gonna
we
be
don't
part of it.
enforce it, then we're at risk. And so that's wonderful that we want to create a policy, but I don't know who amongst us is going to enforce it. And if we have to have Dave do it, then that incurs a cost. So I see it as an asymmetric risk profile. There's limited upside, there's obviously some upside, but there's a whole bunch of downside potential from my perspective.
I mean, we've had it here for the full 4 years, and I guess it was here before Renee even came into office. Veronica, did you run it all the while with Renee was here, or not necessarily, or how did that?
I started right around COVID, so
Okay.
I don't know if Renee, if her term was before that. But the Facebook presence was long before Renee.
You know, I get, is it, you know, how complicated is it to manage or watch that? I mean, I'm not sure, all I've had is my own Facebook page, so I don't know how it works for doing a.
As far as comments go, you cannot, on a holistic basis, turn off commenting. You can do it post by post. So,
So if you like host like the Zoom meeting, you could say no comment. That's not necessary.
right. And a policy is highly recommended because at least you have something to fall back on. If monitoring of comments needs to happen, now you have at least some foundation for why you're doing that.
Yeah, the only thing is if you don't have a policy, you don't have legal exposure. You don't have social media, there's no need to have a policy and no legal exposure.
The advantage is that it allows you to push
I know there's
information
advantage. I
out.
know there's advantage. Unfortunately,
I mean,
and
and
it becomes,
yeah, I mean,
To
it's,
use
you know,
it.
on Facebook, if you're, you know, the 1,500 people that follow Town Pompey, if there's a meeting tonight, all of a sudden it says, town meeting tonight. It just reminds people, it's a quick little, you know, you can scroll by it and ignore it, but you could click on it
yeah.
and get it. If there's a, you know, a quick thing, if there's an, you know, if there was a emergency or a sudden change in, you know, in something, it can be put out there. It could be, you know, when the birthday is coming, you know, I've got it before that morning, don't forget, it's Earth Day, you know, and it reminds people of an event. You know, if there was a flood and some road is gonna be closed or something, it could be put out there. You know, I think it's a very good tool to have. You know, I mean, you know, I don't know if someone else wants to make a motion or whatever. I would make a motion, and actually I will, I'll make a motion that we will temporarily hold it down while we come up with a policy, if that. I make a motion, if someone else wants a second, it can go on, we could do that, if not, someone can make a difference.
I'll second that one simply so that we're not voting to permanently shut down.
I would guess this has to be retroactive to this date that's in the resolution. How many people do we have that actually, if we have 1,500 followers on Facebook, how many people actually join Facebook? Can you join on a meeting? Like, can they dial in?
No, it just,
It's
Click
just
on
live
Zoom.
streams. I push it out from here. So whatever you're seeing here goes right in their feeds. People who follow you will just get that right into their feed. You
And,
get a notification that Town of Pompey is now live.
right,
I've watched planning board meetings at home on my phone.
okay.
You can
But
do it on Zoom. and
You can do it
on
other ways,
YouTube.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the question, and honestly, my concern is I want to make sure we keep people informed, but I don't like the idea of a public comment session that affects people personally on our Facebook site. You want to make your own comments? Make your own comments on your site,
Anywhere on Facebook.
not on our site.
Mhm.
And if, my opinion is, if we can't control that, then I don't think we need to have a Facebook site with respect to all the good that can come out of it. There's a lot of harm that can come out of it, which then, from what I understand, people have already accused us of doing things incorrectly in lawsuits and all kinds of other stuff, which I don't think we need right now. So if we want to, if there's a way to limit any kind of commenting, then I'm all for it. If there isn't, then I'm all for taking it down.
You
That's
can
my
limit.
position.
You can.
You
It's
can
just-
what?
You can limit commenting, but you have to do it per post. Per
I don't think we want to.
per anything
have
that
a
comes out
resource
from
to
the
do
town.
That means we need a manager. We need somebody to manage the account.
Yeah, I'm not in favor of doing it. And it's, you know, if there's another way to control and make it an informative source without the retribution that comes from it, then I'll listen. I don't know. I'm not a social media user. No Facebook, no Instagram, no nothing. So,
I mean, you can talk to either myself or Bob Ruggiero about comment moderation and the process that you have to really institute a process for how you're going to communicate via this platform and who will be responsible for posting information, monitoring information, and monitoring comments.
right.
So
I get-
someone outside of
Yeah.
the people that are sitting up here can be doing that for you.
I mean, and that's, you know, and part of my resolution is if at the end of this, we could not come up with that, then we could, for me, this is a delay on permanently taking it down to give time to really dive into it. Could we get somebody or could, you know, who would be willing to, which I don't know if you would be or not, I'm just throwing it out there. If there's a way that someone would be willing to, you know,
I mean, just interestingly enough, I noticed today that the town of Fabius is having the exact opposite problem that we are having here. They are complaining, residents are complaining because they are not getting information. They do not have a web presence, they do not have a social media presence, and people are expecting it. The residents are expecting to get information and they're not getting it. So
actually, in that same post, I saw that same post, Pompey was praised because Pompey has, apparently they didn't know it was down. They were praised for our Facebook, praised for our Zoom. We were being praised by residents of Fabius when actually we've taken it down. I saw the same,
Yeah.
and it was on, Friends of FP, Fabius, Pompey, something, but it's something that people really like if we could figure it out. And if we can't, I don't want it up unless we can, you know, control it and keep it in, and we have someone that's gonna watch it and we can be somewhat protected. If it's still gonna be too much of a, you know, if we come up with a resolution and we do not feel that it's safe enough for us, then I believe we could make a motion to take it down permanently, but I'm trying to avoid it permanently being taken down was the reason why I made the resolution.
Well, I don't see where it says permanent in this resolution. Right, James?
Well,
Is there anything that says permanent?
and there's nothing that keeps us from bringing it back up.
No,
You see
I
permanent?
agree.
It just says-
In James'
Doesn't say
resolution, the word
permanent.
temporary.
Retroactively.
That
Yeah.
insinuates that we have to bring it back up, so I would not be supportive of the word temporary in there. Because the way it's worded allows us to bring it back up, but if you say temporary, that almost requires us to bring it back up.
Right.
Which I would not.
And I think,
We put is there, I mean, maybe there's a moratorium on it until while we address something like this, we've done things.
Well, no, I think.
I'm just asking what legally, what is
Well, I think if you voted on the present resolution to, and it is to affirm the board's decision to discontinue and take down the Facebook page, that if over the course of the next month,
yes,
the board wanted to put it back up, you could certainly vote next month. There's nothing in this about permanency saying that it can never be resurrected. So
all right.
if that's
Thanks.
the issue, then the wording of this resolution is such that you can,
Does not
and you
imply
can't,
permanency.
frankly, you can't bind future decisions. You can't put into a resolution that says, from now until the end of time, there will be no Facebook page, right? So there's nothing permanent about any of these resolutions.
All right, so I'm gonna make a resolution as it's written. Resolution,
We already
motion,
have one
or-
with a second
Oh.
that has to be voted on before you can make a
Okay.
vote on it.
all right.
Permanent.
Yeah, I guess we gotta vote on his resolution with the
Yeah,
word
there was
temporary
a
in it.
resolution that basically was the same resolution inserting the word temporary. And James made the motion and Diana seconded it. This is the discussion part, so.
Right.
Whenever the discussion is over,
Yeah,
you need to vote on that
I'm-
resolution.
I'll tell you, I'm not in favor of temporary.
I think no.
And I understand the intent of where
it's all
both you
right.
guys are trying to go. I think it's important that we take it down effective this date, and then we can discuss how and if and when it can be brought up based on a better technical understanding of comments. That's my position.
Agreement with that.
So do you vote?
Okay,
and
so
then we'll
you,
move
so
on to
you
the
want
next
to,
one.
you want to vote?
Vote on his resolution.
Well, we did.
No,
It's almost like a
You
roll
just made
call,
it
a
clear.
yay, nay.
no.
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 Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
So that
So
that
the motion's
resolution
not-
didn't pass.
Three.
Now you want to have a discussion about what the resolution.
I'll make the resolution to affirm the town board's decision to discontinue and take down the Town of Pompey Facebook page retroactive to March 21st, 2024.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? Okay, favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
I
All
said-
right.
I did I said I.
I'm no.
Okay.
Yeah.
4-5, motion carries. Okay, and the last item is, we need to, have a letter signed, for giving permission for to Mark Wilson to do the, inaugural Onondaga Man Triathlon. I think they used to have a triathlon that ran through Pompey before COVID. This is kind of a similar version. I think it's gonna go up through, Sweet Road 91 to meet up to 91 and up to Fabius. And anyway, checked in with BR, Highway. Everyone's in favor. We just need to,
Do we have to get the sheriff to like mark it out or something?
they're doing all that.
Okay,
We just,
I think it's great.
have to let it go through our town.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so somebody just needs to make a motion to approve of that.
Make a motion for Mark to approve and sign the letter in regards to the inaugural Onondaga Man Triathlon.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. And meeting adjourned. For me?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
Opposed, motion
All these bills have to be signed.
Oh, yeah.